Robots, no longer science fiction. Today they help build products. They even explore Mars. Robots have assisted human beings now for decades. Someday they'll be part of our daily life, helping in the kitchen or challenging us to a game of soccer. In fact, I learned that soccer may be the key to understanding artificial intelligence. Hans-Dieter Burkhardt is a professor at the Institute for Information at Berlin's prestigious Humboldt University. Since the 1960s, he's been doing research on artificial intelligence. This is our lab, where we work with the students, he tells me. The lab is the center, the heart of our work, as are the robots. This here is the Now robot, made by Aldebaran, that we're working with. Getting it to play soccer and do other things.
Fußball spielen lassen, aber auch andere Dinge.
15 years ago, researchers decided to test out robots on a soccer field. Burkhardt, himself a mathematician, has completely devoted himself to this pursuit. Computers had already mastered chess, but soccer, Professor Burkhardt says, is far more interesting than any board game. That's because it requires quicker reaction times. For the robots, it also means they need agility. So before researchers worry about making the robots smarter, they've got another concern. Burkhardt says the robot's body determines what is and is not possible. We had to build other robots, he says, where we decided on where to put the knee, how long to make the legs, how big to make the feet. You'd think you'd want big feet to keep it from falling over, but big feet are horrible for running. When you run fast, you practically run on the tips of your toes. So it's not a software issue, but a hardware issue. Once we've got the hardware, he says, we can figure out our software options. Before the match gets going, the robots are calibrated to their surroundings. Colors and light play a big role. The robots get information about the playing field from a laptop. Then they're on their own. The result can look pretty different from a human soccer match. If there's an object outside the field that's the same color as the ball, it can get the robots pretty confused. The little automatons are left to make decisions for themselves, for better or worse. This is the Campus Party Technology Festival, also in Berlin. Thousands of students, geeks, and nerds come here from all over the world to see the latest in computer and internet technologies. One of this year's focuses happens to be robots. This one here has been made to go underwater. The robot's developers aim to have it diving on its own to investigate crashed airplanes. The plan is for the robot to detect black boxes and even bodies. This guy's got the beat. In January, he's set to play drums in a complete robot band at a rock festival in Australia. They'll be playing alongside the likes of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. But I'm still fascinated by Professor Burkhardt's soccer players. As the computer science students at Humboldt University show me, the robots aren't too shabby when it comes to penalty kicks. But putting the ball around is just the beginning. Professor Burkhardt and his students have a vision for the future. They believe that by 2050, robots will be good enough to play soccer against real humans. But they also realize that they've still got a long way to go. Right now, says Burkhardt, we don't have the sensors to give the robots a real sense of body. We've got lots of different technologies. Maybe we could even give them artificial muscles. But what we need is data evaluation. We have to figure out what to do with all the data. Right now, it all goes to a central computer. But in the future, we'll need local points of analysis for knee reflexes and so on. It's possible that won't be a matter of programming, but of learning. In principle, a robot should be able to learn, he says, like a child learns to walk or a person with an illness. We're working on that. Robots with the ability to learn. It makes me wonder if I don't find it a bit creepy, the idea of robots making their own decisions. Nearby, Benoit Libaud from the Paris-based robotics company Aldebaran presents the Now. That's the same robot used by the IT students at Humboldt. Libaud explains the inner life of a robot. He talks about built-in sensors, cameras, and processors. He wants audience members like me to feel more at ease with robots. During Libaud's presentation, one participant is already surfing the web looking for the Now's price tag. Interested buyers have to shell out more than 12,500 euros. But when I hear Benoit Libaud's plan for the Now, I'm willing to believe that the robot is worth every cent of that.
Actually, I'm working on a project where we develop a solution to use this robot in therapeutic sessions with children with autism. Because there are some research out there that shows that children with autism are attracted to mechanical or electronic device like this robot, and we can take advantage of this attraction between kids with autism and robots to let them play, and as they play, learn things about social interaction or things like that.
Robots could soon be a help in other areas where they would have once been unimaginable, like medical care. Robots could help patients out of wheelchairs, for example, or carry them upstairs. Developers' fantasies know no limits.
I have more than 2,000 brothers and sisters in use, all around the world, in universities and research laboratories. Do you want more technical details?
Another man here at the campus party has turned himself into a robot. Well, to be precise, a cyborg, part human, part machine. North Irish-born, Spanish-raised artist Neil Harbison even appears in his passport photo in cyborg form. From the time he was born, Harbison has only seen in black and white. That means he can't perceive the bright colors of the campus party with his eyes. Harbison says he likes what he sees, but he wanted to know exactly what was behind the names of Gordon Brown or Pink Floyd. So he developed a special color sensor. It turns the colors his eyes can't see into sound frequencies he can feel. The vibrations are sent to a bone in his neck. I decide to put him to the test.
It sounds C, so it's between C and C sharp, very high pitch. It's a type of a shade of blue, so it sounds quite high.
Blue was right. Harbison says his colorblindness isn't a disability. Actually, he says, the sound frequencies allow him to perceive color differentiations much more precisely than most people.
The human eye detects the color as a pack of three, detects light, saturation, and hue as one thing, whereas I perceive it in three different ways. I perceive the hue in a different note, I perceive light through my eyes, and I perceive saturation through different volume levels.
I wonder, is it possible that cyborgs are a step above humans on the evolutionary ladder? Back in the lab at Humboldt University, the computer science students are discussing their next steps with Professor Burkhardt. They're considering ways to optimize the robot's movements. Many more years of work are needed before robots can move as smoothly as humans. When I ask about one robot that looks like a tabletop on wheels, the team tells me this contraption could serve me a beer, as long as someone puts the beer on it first. But in theory, it could do much more, Burkhardt says. We could add an arm that would open up the fridge door and recognize a beer bottle. And if the bottle isn't placed too badly, the robot could grab it. It could carry it in its arm, and even a glass. It could even pour. These are all things that are possible, but are far from being ready for the market. An automatic bar. But the idea wouldn't be conceivable without the robot soccer players. Burkhardt says humans have always aimed to delegate tasks they consider unpleasant. There are already lots of robots working on assembly lines, he says, but why not have them bring us a beer, clean the bathroom, wipe the windows? For that to happen, the robots will have to perceive their surroundings and control their own bodies. All the things we're working towards on the soccer field here, he says, are going to help in these other tasks. Professor Burkhardt presents his visionary project at the Campus Party Festival. Humans playing soccer against robots in the year 2050. Nearby, I watch some more, alongside other visitors, amazed at all that the little plastic men can already do with the help of sensors and cameras. As technology develops, we have to ask, will it be us with or against the robots? It's a question that's bound to determine the course of our future.